My name's Katie Hims and I wrote Billy the Girl. Billy the Girl is about Billy the Girl. It's also about family and about a girl returning to her family and returning to her family with a lot of hope in her heart, with a lot of ambition to change. And I'm hoping that it is a little bit of a comedy, so that it's it's dealing with the darker issues with a lighter touch. That's my ambition for the piece anyway. It shouldn't be a kind of tragic conclusion for Billy. I want it to be a hopeful, positive conclusion for her. But essentially she's come out of prison, she's coming home, she's got things she wants to say, she's got things she wants to hear. And I guess the question is just, how is it going to work out for her, and what is the impact of her return on the other members of the family? I kind of approached the project with a mixed set of feelings really. I was very nervous about going into prison. I was very nervous about going in and saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing, upsetting somebody. I met so many people that were really generous and funny, and I was really glad that I'd met them, and really inspiring in terms of what I wanted to do. So I kind of came away from that work thinking, I want to write something really funny. If you're doing some work in a prison, you want the work to be primarily about the group that you're working with, rather than about your own kind of needs or your own kind of end really, or your own end result. So I think, when we worked in prisons, it was absolutely about the writing that we were doing. In terms of what I got out of that as a writer, writing a commission for Clean Break, I think it's all the incidental detail that you get from just working with people, so that someone will say a tiny thing to you and it will kind of illuminate a whole world or a whole story, or it will give you a story that you've made up, and then you don't feel like you've taken anything from that person because it was a small detail that you could have taken from anybody. I think one of the challenges of the Clean Break Commission is that it plays in both the theatre and then it tours prisons. And I think in some ways you have to put that aside because the anxiety of that can get in the way of the writing process. But having said that, it was incredibly important to me that the play that went into prison did not send everybody away on a downbeat note really. It needed to be hopeful, it needed to be positive for what it's worth. That felt incredibly important to me.